Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So guys, in today's video we'll be discussing about why do we fail at leaf propagation. Now the first and the most important thing is whenever you are starting a leaf propagation, it's very important that you select the correct leaf and you have to pluck it out correctly. Now a lot of times what happens is because we are not very experienced, we tend to pluck the leaf incorrectly, due to which the leaf tends to break into half like this. Now if your leaf is broken like this, definitely it is not going to be successful. Probably there would be 1% chance, but 99% of it won't get propagated. In most cases it will start to dry out and turn black like this. Apart from this, please don't take leaves that are yellow, that are transparent, mushy, have wrinkles, have spots. Do not take these leaves because these leaves will also not propagate. As you can see these examples over here, a lot of times this can even happen after you have finished the process of callus. At times the leaves might turn darker in color. Such leaves will not produce any pups. Like over here, as you can see, this leaf is almost transparent compared to the other one. Both are from the same mother plant, but still you can see the major difference. This is more opaque, it's more fresh. This is very transparent, which means that it has already finished with the life and it is not going to generate any pup for you. So always select a leaf that is plump, firm, has enough water in it so that it can sustain in generating a pup. Please do not take leaves that have already started to wrinkle or start to turn yellow or have already turned soft. Such leaves will not produce any pup. So it's not only important to locate which is a healthy leaf, but it's also important that how you take the leaf out, it has to be a clean and smooth cut. Now guys, if you do not follow this first process, then the other process is not going to go ahead, because even before the leaf can callus, it will start to rot. As you can see over here as well, these leaves were not plucked correctly and you can see that they have already started to rot from the main portion, which tends to get connected to the mother plant. It has started to get dried. So guys, this is a very important step to select the correct type of leaf and also that you correctly take it out from the mother plant. Now apart from this guys, you also need to understand which are the succulents that can propagate via leaf, because there are certain varieties, like you have your sempervivums. All the varieties of sempervivums will not propagate by leaf. They can only be propagated by separating the offsets. Apart from that, there are a couple of Aeoniums which also do not propagate via leaves. Now I'm not quite sure because I do not have a lot of Aeoniums, but there are a lot of varieties of Aeoniums that do not propagate via leaves. So probably you'll have to do a little bit of research before you select a particular succulent for leaf propagation. So you might have heard the term more the merrier. The same thing applies to your leaf propagation as well. The more leaves you have, the more success rate. Now guys, again, it depends. Some people can even have a successful propagation with just 3 leaves as well. And some people, even after taking 10 leaves, they do not have a complete success rate, because it completely depends on how well you are doing it and what are the precautions you're taking it. But it's always better to have a little larger number of leaves in order to have more success with your leaf propagation. Now the next step is very important. Just like our adult succulents, if they do not receive enough light, they start to stretch. The same way even the pups also will start to stretch. The funny part is a lot of people think that the succulent pups are growing really fast, but this is not the healthy growth guys. This is called stretching and this can damage your pups. It's not a very good sign for a succulent pup to stretch. It tends to make the pup very weak. So over here guys, you'll have to strike a balance, and you cannot give direct sunlight because otherwise the leaf will get burnt. You cannot give too less light, otherwise the pup will start to stretch. So you basically need to strike a balance between not too much of light and not too less of light. So you need to have that balance between both. This is how a stretched pulp looks like when it doesn't receive a lot of light. It is not the actual growth, but it is called as stretching. Now this is how a healthy succulent pulp should look like. It should look very compact in its rosette. This is because it's receiving the correct amount of indirect bright light. It is not exposed to direct sunlight. At the same time, it's not kept in a low light condition. It receives the right amount of indirect bright light, so you can see how compact the rosette is. Now if your pups have already started to stretch, please don't be worried. It's absolutely fine. You can start putting them out in indirect bright light, because over here, as you can see, this particular leaf looks very compact over here. But if I'm going to turn around, you can see it was stretching initially, but once it started receiving the right amount of indirect bright light, the stretching stopped, and now you can see it's much more compact. So please don't be worried if your pups are starting to stretch. All you have to do is just move it to indirect bright light. Again, talking about watering, guys, you again need to maintain a balance. You should not overwater. At the same time, you must not underwater. Don't let the propagation soil dry out for too long. You need to maintain a slight moisture. Please do not mist the mother leaf, otherwise the mother leaf will turn soft. It will start to rot. If the mother leaf starts to rot at an early stage, then it won't be able to provide any nutrients to the pup. As you can see how the pup looks very tiny, it doesn't even have any roots. It is going to be very difficult for this pup to survive. Probably I would say 98% the pup is not going to survive. So please do not mist your mother leaf. So let the mother leaf naturally dry out, because that's what the process is. Over the period of time, the mother leaf will dry out when the pup tends to consume all the moisture, nutrients from the mother leaf. That's when the mother leaf starts to dry out. Now guys, over here, as you can see, all of these leaves are very intact, because I never missed my mother leaves. You can see how healthy they are, and you can also see how well the pups are doing. So basically the pups are taking nutrition and a little bit of moisture from the mother leaf. At the same time, there are these roots which also tend to absorb moisture from the air. So there is a two-way connection over here. The roots also help. At the same time, the mother leaf also tends to help the pup grow healthy. So in case if you tend to cut off the healthy mother leaf even before it tends to dry, so you're going to basically cut off a major source of nutrients what the pup requires. Now guys, I'm not saying that the pup will die, but if the mother leaf was still attached to the pup, it would have grown even more healthy. I'm going to show you a few more examples of how the mother leaf tends to look, or when the mother leaf is still attached with the pup for a really long time. You will be able to see the difference, how much of difference it does to the pup. The pup looks really healthy and it tends to do quite well. So let me quickly show you the pup over here. As you can see, the pup has reached quite a good size, but at the same time, the mother leaf is still attached to it. It is getting a lot of nutrients. One type of nutrients it's getting from the leaf. It's also getting water because it already has roots. So it's getting a two-way kind of a nutrition and growing support. So let the mother leaf remain with the pup as long as it tends to naturally dry out. You do not do anything from your end. Please do not cut it out when it is fresh, and do not mist on the mother leaf so that it will tend to dry out. Now here is another example. This small little propagation experiment was kept near the windowsill where it was receiving a good amount of light. But unfortunately, you can see they are not doing quite well, because at times water tends to fall from the window onto the leaf. So you can see the ones in the between have completely dried up. But you will also notice something. The one on your left is more stretched because it was not receiving a lot of light, because it was kind of away from the window light. But the one on your right hand side, you are able to see that it's much more compact, because this was closer to the window. So you can see, even though the leaf propagations were put in a very small tray and were very close to each other, but the ones that were closer to the window was very compact, and the one that was slightly far from the window is starting to stretch. So with this, you'll be able to get an idea that how sensitive they are towards light. They definitely require a good amount of bright indirect light. Even a little bit indifference or even a little bit of low light will make them start to stretch. So as I said this earlier as well, over the period of time, the mother leaf will get dried out because the pup will consume everything from inside the leaf and it will start to grow healthy. So from your end, what you can do is do not cut the fresh mother leaf. Let the pup grow completely and wait for the mother leaf to naturally dry out. Secondly, do not add any water on the mother leaf, otherwise it will accelerate the process of rotting and drying. And even before the pup has reached a good size, the mother leaf will dry out, which usually does not turn out to be very good for the pup. So how you can avoid water falling onto the leaves? You can either do bottom watering, or you can water through a syringe, or you can use these bottles as well. These tend to work out really well. They have a very thin nozzle and they tend to spray water directly into the soil without splashing any water on the leaves. So you can try this. If you're not comfortable with this, you still tend to drop water on the leaves, maybe because of lack of experience, then you can go for bottom watering, which is the most safest way to water your leaf propagation. So the next question, when should we separate the pup from the mother leaf? Now guys, here as you can see, this is how the mother leaf tends to look once the pup has completely consumed all of the nutrients from the mother leaf. It will completely dry up. Very gently you need to pull it out. It will come apart, it will fall apart. But guys, again over here, this mother leaf got dried out beforehand because it might have come in contact with moisture because of the rain. So this is the reason why you can see the pup is really very small, but it's absolutely fine. Here the pup already has roots and it is okay of a size to be put into the soil. But if I'm going to show the comparison wherein this leaf was taken very good care, you can see the mother leaf is still very healthy and still attached to the pup. You can see how well the pup is growing. And the pup that dried out its mother leaf well in advance, you can see it is okay. It's not in a very bad condition, but you can still see the size is very small because the mother leaf happened to dry out well in advance. But on the other hand, you can see the other pup is looking really good. The pup looks very healthy. It looks very plump because it's still attached with this mother leaf. So guys, always remember, try to extend and do not make any mistakes from your end wherein it might harm the mother leaf. The longer the mother leaf stays with the pup, the more healthy the pup will get. So basically, in order for leaf propagation, apart from the leaves from the succulent, you also need to have a lot of determination, dedication, patience. All these things are very important when it comes to leaf propagation, because once you have that qualities in you and you have the urge of growing succulents from leaves, only then you will be able to be successful. But it is a very long process. That's the reason why you need to have a lot of dedication and patience in order to grow succulents from leaves. So once the pups reach to 3 to 4 centimeter in diameter, you can then go ahead and move them out from the propagation soil, because the propagation soil contains cocopeat, so you do not want to keep your pups in that. So then you will have to use the regular succulent soil mix, which we tend to use for our adult succulents, and then move them into that soil. So this entire process has taken a really long time. I'm not quite sure how long it's been, but I can tell you approximately it's been more than a year that they have come to this size. So I also had few questions from people wherein they said that their succulent leaves have put out roots, but there are no pups at all. Now guys, there is nothing what you can do from your end. You have to just let it be as it is. You can see both of these leaves were taken from the same mother plant at the same time, but one of them have already started putting out roots and pup, but the other one is just having roots. But now you can see there is a very small piece of pup that is starting to emerge from the leaf end. So it completely depends upon the leaf. Some tend to put out pups first, some tend to put out roots first, some tend to grow both simultaneously. But again, it completely depends upon the leaf. There is nothing you can do. All you have to do is just have patience and wait. If the leaf already has roots, you can put it into the soil and start giving a little bit of water around the root area. But apart from that, do not do anything. Please do not fidget around with the leaf. If the leaf starts to rot, you will not be able to get any pups. So ensure that you take extreme care. Another question that I had received was why do the succulent leaves tend to curl up like this? Now guys, this will usually happen to leaves that are slightly thin and longer. Now the reason reason behind this is you notice that there is pulp on the leaf, but there are no roots. So now what's happening is the pulp needs a little bit more moisture and water to grow, but there are no external roots for it to absorb any water. So right now the pulp is trying to extract all the moisture and water from the leaf. If I have to give you a very simple example, it's like you're trying to drink water from a plastic bottle, and when you try to squeeze out the last drop of water, you'll immediately notice that the bottle starts to get crushed. And that's how exactly it's happening over here. The pulp is trying to extract all the water and moisture from the leaf because it does not have roots at this point of time. Now due to this, what's happening is, because the leaf does not have a lot of water, because these are thin leaved succulents, so the leaf starts to bend, it starts to curl, but that's absolutely fine. This is something that you cannot do much about. But as soon as the roots will start to appear, it will get fine. Don't worry, the pulp will still remain healthy, because even before the leaf starts to dry out, the roots will be present and it will help the pulp drink or absorb water from soil or from the air. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.